been lucky to see a little bit of the footage of Monumental, and I'm blown away with what he's done with that film.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah.
No, thank you, guys.
Well, maybe you and Gary could collaborate on the next movie.
Oh, I'd love to work with Gary again. We've already talked a little bit about that. I mean, I'd love to work with him again because he's, it's great about Gary is he's got quite a bit of a range. So it's not like a lot of actors where you're like, well, I don't really have a part for you in this movie. He's got a pretty good range of different characters he can play. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of itching to see him play a really awful person. I've kind of been trying to craft a role that I'd like to see Gary.
I'm waiting for someone to give me that role. I'm waiting.
Well, then you both need to sit down and write it together and get your heads going.
Yeah, well, when he's back in town, we're definitely going to hook up and talk.
Well, I'm back next week. We should get together before I head up north for a minute. And then before then I'll see you on end of September as well. So.
But it was really cool, in the process of making, Malignant, and we had a post-process where actually Gary came back in and was involved with that, and actually picked up some extra shots, which really helped the movie that I wanted to get, but there was just no way in the original production to get them. And he, so from the process of doing that, I kind of found out what he wanted to do with Monumental, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. This sounds really difficult to pull off. And then, here we are at the end of post, and he actually already went out and did it and pulled it off and shot it, which is amazing because you hear about people all the time saying, yeah, I'm gonna do this movie. And then, it never happened.
Yeah.
But,
that was why I pushed so hard to do it, because I'm around so many people that just talk, and I got sick of, and I was one of those guys as well, talking forever and a bunch of other stuff, and I finally just, did it. We just did, literally.
Well, you didn't talk very long on Monumental, because I think for the first time I heard about it, you doing it was maximum 6 months.
Yeah, that's about what it was. It would have been sooner if we were free. It was scheduling and everything else, and but yeah, like I said, me, Luke, Scott, Stewart, we put it together, and bam, that was it. So
it was just right timing. That's all. Right timing, right place, right people, just all fell in together.
Well, Gary's so busy. I think. It was lucky with Daylight's End that actually got pushed back a little bit, right? It was almost going to you were going to finish Monumental.
Well, luckily it got
the next
pushed.
Day, Daylight's End.
I would have had a 2-day grace period. Luckily, Daylight's End pushed a few weeks, and I got to breathe for a minute, and then I flew up to Dallas, and I was because I did The Night Visitor, and then I was dealing with all the prep work with Monumental. Then we shot Monumental, and then I almost didn't even come home. I almost went straight from Virginia Beach to Dallas. But then, a few weeks it got pushed, so I was like, phew. I needed it. I really did. I wouldn't have been. Human beings only take so much. And,
right.
Just from the producing, the stress factor on Monumental was high, and if something went wrong with it, I felt more responsible than anyone because I started it, and then Luke as well. So we had this pressure that. Like we said, we still feel it. I know Luke feels it, but we're confident when we see the footage. We're like, okay. All that drama, all that the road trip seems like a joy from watching the footage. It's like, yeah, that was good times.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of drama, that we had to deal with at home. We're dealing with people on emails and text messages, and it's just like, come on, dude. Yeah, we did it, and here we are talking about it.
Well, when can we expect to see Malignant?
You can also know that you're going to have someone else call in, right, Gary?
Yeah, Luke's supposed to call in.
I think he's called in. Luke, are you with us?
Yeah, I am.
Well, it's a Monaco
there he
clock.
is.
That's awesome.
I'm going to cut off so you guys can change topics.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Brian. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Brian.
I'll listen in on the net.
Hey, Brian. Good to talk to you a little bit.
All right. Bye. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was so sweet of him to call in.
I didn't know I was supposed to announce my presence. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's awesome. But, Brian's amazing. So he's a director that can make an actor grow tremendously, and so he's one of those guys that I feel I'll have a decent career because I worked with him. Just that growth, confidence he instills in you. So, I'm glad he got to call in and say what he had to say. So,
yes, and I feel very grateful.
Yeah.
That he did. That you got him to call in.
Yeah, he never does interviews. He never does them. But I want to introduce a guy that loves interviews, who's my partner in crime. One of the best dudes on the planet, just all around, pound for pound talent, Luke Albright. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here again. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Feels like a family reunion.
Yeah. Is it Pam and Sabine again?
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Woohoo!
So,
ladies,
Luke, you
how
still
are you?
have your mohawk?
Go ahead. Yeah. I do.
Got your mohawk?
Still rocking it. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. It's tough to get rid
Gary,
of. I tried to cut it and it wouldn't let me.
No.
Uh-uh.
Well, so did you tell your girlfriend that we got to see her in General Hospital?
Yeah, she's really excited. She really appreciated that.
No, and she was good. Too bad she couldn't stick around a little bit longer. But I'm sure we'll see her in a lot more.
You see her in the
Absolutely.
You see her in the trailer for Monumental. Agnes.
Oh.
Yeah, she's also in this song. She does a really good job as well.
I didn't really look at to see who exactly everybody is because it's such a short trailer. But because you're more concentrating on what you're looking at as far as the scenery and what's going on. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again.
Yeah, just keep it to your guys. Yourself.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, watch it.
Definitely.
Watch it as many times as you want. I'll show you the new one. Because you guys are part of our little posse. We'll show you.
Awesome.
Well, poor Luke, his phone call just dropped.
Oh, he'll be back.
I hope he's got a call back, yeah. So Luke had the mohawk, and he told us that one of the other guys, was it one of the film guys, I think, that got a mohawk while you guys were filming Monumental?
It was the director, Scott.
The director, that's who it was.
Yeah, when we got to New Mexico, he wanted the mohawk. Baby, he did it. It was. I thought it was going to become a trend. I think it's going to when Monumental comes out. I think Luke Albright is going to start a mohawk trend. No doubt about it. I mean, I'm tempted. Yeah. I'm tempted for the right role. If you give me a taxi driver role, I'll pull it off. But
right.
I think Luke makes it look cool for a business guy to do it. I think.
Yeah.
Put a suit on.
God. I think who was it telling us they wanted to do it, but they'd have a tough time selling insurance with that kind of haircut. I think my brother told me that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the new fad thing next year.
Well, it wasn't bad at one time, so things usually come back.
It's all cyclical, and I pray to God I'm not the person to restart it, but if it happens, it's happened. I apologize to everyone's children right now. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I think what they're going to do, I think they're going to go to Mount Rushmore and carve a mohawk into Abraham Lincoln, I think, right after this movie's released.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
As they should. I mean, I think that's
I think they should.
It.
I mean, I saw Lincoln staring at you. If he's not going to do it at Mount Rushmore, they're going to do it to Lincoln Monument. Just give him a mohawk. Let's update him. You know what I mean?
It's been 150 years. He was really jealous that Roosevelt and I were getting along so well. I saw that as well.
He does, yeah. Roosevelt was trying to peek in the corner. He did. I saw him trying to tuck away. He didn't like it. But
you guys are goofy.
That's what the road trip's like.
I hope somebody filmed all the outtakes from this movie and put it out there so we can see it, because I bet it was a blast being with you guys.
There's a few, and 100% of them all are with Luke Albright. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
That's
is
not
one
true.
funny. Yeah, no.
He does his pitches over here.
I really wish we had more, actually, though. It wasn't as easy to film behind the scenes like we thought it was going to be. It was such a rush. But there are some behind-the-scenes footage that'll make you laugh, and it's all with Luke Albright. I remember shaking the RV in L.A. before we hit the road trip, and he was just making this ridiculous sound, and it was hysterical. He's sounded like a dying goat or a cone head. I don't know what he was doing. It's just,
one of my go-to voices is a dying goat.
Is that what it was, a dying goat?
Yeah, I have that on my resume.
Well, people are making those goat movie or those goat YouTube things, and maybe you should do that with that.
I'm going to take it in a different direction. You know what I mean? They're just putting it in songs and doing funny little videos with it. I want to go inside the goat's mind and what's going on with the screaming goat. That's my movie. Watch out for it, 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be the best comedy of all time. I'm telling you. Well, what's funny though?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say though, one of the things, because I know I worked with Luke and he was always hilarious, and he plays like a character in Lost in the Crowd where he's got some range. His character actually has the most range to show as an actor in that movie, and he hang out with him offset. He's like one of the funniest guys you'll ever see, and then that's why it was like such a great. It was as a fan, because I'm a fan of Luke. He's not only my bro, but to watch him do Claim, who he added the original script. I didn't have too much funny stuff, but he added so much funny stuff. But you see such deep drama, and it's just like, that's why I can't wait. I can't wait for it to come out just to see, as a fan of like Scott, as a fan of Luke, to see, and to work with him was really good. But you talk about range, like Brian was talking about with me, I have it, but watch Luke Albright. I'm just telling you, he's got he's just hilarious. So, but
we figured that out.
Yeah, no, there's this one scene in particular though. There's a few scenes in particular actually, but there's this one. I mean, I was just not in the moment. I don't know. I mean, I was in a funk probably because my character is always in a funk. But we were in Virginia Beach. We're in an RV scene. We're just parked shooting kind of. It's just parked, and he has this scene where he just breaks down, and it's, you're working with someone great when you are not in the moment and their performance draws you in. I mean, not only me. I mean, I was feeling it. I was teared up. It was just so authentic. But not only was I worked into the moment. Dude, the sound guy, Brandon, came up. He was bawling. Came up, gave Luke a hug, gave me a hug. Mary Dixon. I mean, the whole crew was in tears because it was just that powerful. And it's just, there's moments like that in Monumental. And I told Luke, during it wasn't like, I didn't want to be insulting to him because I meant it as like the utmost compliment when I was telling him I'm not shocked by what he's doing because I know what he's capable of. You know what I mean? I know. I'm not even, it's like I'm blown away, but then I'm not because, I was expecting that, but it did hit me, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, sitting in that chair in the driver's seat of that RV, I get the chills just thinking about that moment because it was, Luke knows the scene I'm talking about. I mean, there's a few where he's extremely powerful, but there's this one moment I don't say a word. I'm just sitting there, and I'm just being a friend, listening to him go through. And you read the script now, and he wrote this particular part of this scene. And I was wondering how he's going to play it. Like, how would this be played? Because when I read it, it can come off super cheesy if you're just reading it. But then you see what he does to it. It's just, man, like I'm literally got the goosebumps thinking about it. It was just so powerful. And that's what, and like you said, you'll see some stuff. And I'm shocked that's not in the trailer. Actually, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But it's I don't know. Like I said, it was a dream to work with these guys and to put it together. I could not have had a better co-star. We could not have had a better director, as Stuart Page helped run the show and our whole team. Like, we could not have made Monumental without any of us. Like, it's, I don't know. So I watched the trailer. Like, go ahead.
No, I just want to echo what you're saying. I feel very lucky to have the group that we have, and it was really kind of eye-opening to me to see how. Like, I've worked with you before, and it's the same thing you said. Like, that's one reason I wanted to come on board this project was I know what you can bring to a role. And so it's, like, you even as teared up as you were getting that day, like, I get teared up watching the trailer. I mean, they've done a fantastic job with what we've done. I called you right after I saw it. I literally called. It was like, I got the set. Stuart picked me up. He's like, did you see the new trailer? I said, no, I didn't have time to watch it. Because it was sent to me late at night, and I get the set. I'm ready to get in, my costume or whatever I wear for this movie, and I put the headphones on, and I was halfway through it, and I
I started tapping Stewart on the shoulder, and I was like, yeah, this is it. I mean, I knew it wasn't the final trailer, but I was feeling it.
Right.
I'm like, this is what me and Luke were going for. And I just literally ran out